and I had no idea where to make a bag, how to make a bag. So I had a leather vendor that I would buy leather for the clothing that I would make, and I said, where do you make bags around here? Can you give me some places? And so he sent me 5 addresses, and I went to one, and he came out with someone else's brand. He's like, do you know this brand? I said, yeah, I know this brand. He's like, well, I make for them. And I was like, you're lying. That's fake. He said, no, this is the company I make for. And I said, well, if you can make for them, you can make for me. And so we started with this one bag. FedEx misdelivered it to the film set 2 hours too late. So I was devastated. It was the last $1,800 I had. I had 2 bags, one for her, one for me. And I was like, well, this is my first designer purchase. It's my own bag. So I was devastated, but I decided to wear the bag around the city, and I kept getting stopped. And I got stopped enough that I thought there's something to this. People are seeking me out to ask me who designed this bag. And so that was when I launched it. Daily Candy. Do you guys remember Daily Candy? Missed that. They wrote about it, and from there it was this power and surge of this desire and excitement for that bag. And I said, you know what, screw the clothes for a minute, because it's so much harder to do and so much more time intensive and capital intensive to do clothing, and let me focus on one thing and hitch my wagon to that little baby and see where it takes me. So that's the sort of a long story, but
that's amazing. No, but like to hear that start from a t-shirt and now handbags into, you know, a bajillion sort of categories that you have. You know, I think you mentioned a little bit about before social media, but obviously now that we're at a social media conference, of course, we live in the world of social media. I think our past speakers just, you know, really talked about the power of social media. How has social media impacted your business today and over the years?
We are only here because of social media. When we started talking to our customer in 2005, I found this forum called the Purse Blog, or the Purse Forum. Yeah. Some of you are familiar with it. They're why we exist. I saw a bunch of women talking about the product, and I thought, this is weird. I should probably answer their questions. No one else is, and I have all the answers as the designer of my bags. And began a dialogue, and it was so explosive that no one had ever spoken to their consumer before, and they couldn't believe that I would do that. And obviously now that's normal. We know that's common practice now, and that's how you need to exist. But back then it wasn't. We had department stores pull us aside, say we're dirtying our brand by talking to our consumer, dirtying our brand by working with bloggers. And my brother and I, who's my co-founder, really felt like that was not true at all, and let's just stick to this. And so for us, as each new platform emerged, for us it was another opportunity to talk to her, to be a part of her life, to have a dialogue and interact with her. And so for us, we credit social media for being around and giving us a voice, because it's not like Anna Wintour was knocking on my door or Barney's wanted to carry the line. And so I think, we really celebrate the fact that we're of her, of you, and starting that really organically. It was not a strategy that we had to, ooh, we really need to get on that. How do we do that? It was just a very natural evolution.
Yeah, I love that. I feel like you had like a gut feeling also of just like wanting to talk to your customer. You also mentioned influencers, I think we're in a room full of influencers and great content creators like yourselves. How has influencers played a role, in terms of just, I think we had the privilege of working together at some fashion shows, and, how do you incorporate influencers into your marketing strategy? And are there certain traits that you look for, or how do you select a brand partner, for example?
So I think for us, in the beginning, it was selecting, it was very new territory for everybody. So we would have tea time, and we'd have a bunch of influencers come in, get to know them, give them product. They felt lucky because no one wanted them anywhere near their brand, and we were like, come one, come all, we welcome you. And so we had a lot of early relationships with people like Leandra Medine from the Man Repeller, or Something Navy, or Kiara Ferragni, where no one knew who they were or knew their names or cared, and we did. And so that led to really strong relationships. And then you've obviously seen the tide turn where those people get so big and their authenticity can sometimes be questioned. So now we really look to a lot of micro-influencers, to people like, frankly, everyone in this room who, you are the influencer for women in your community, or not community, from near and far, but they know that what you're saying is authentic and it's you, and it's not, tied to these huge brands that are throwing crazy money, because there's an inauthenticity that can come with that. So we've never played that game. and we won't play that game. We want to continuously seek out new people and new voices that can help, build natural partnerships where both people are benefiting.